Okay, now I got things turned on. Hello, everybody. How you doing today? And let me know if you can hear me. I don't know if I got this crazy setup of mine set up right. I'm trying to get my hair combed because I'm late as usual. It's to almost not getting here in time. I was out watching them do work out in the front of our building and still haven't really quite figured out what they're doing. Damn computer is so quiet I can't hear it running. That's why I find it unusual I can't hear it. But I guess that's a good thing that it's quiet. Hey, Charlie. Oh, sorry that you're at the dentist office, man. That kind of sucks. That's no fun. So yeah. Hello, yes. How you doing? And Charlie, I hope you're just getting your teeth cleaned. That you're not getting teeth pulled or anything. That's very unenjoyable. I don't like it. It was it was sunny out. Now it's getting cloudy. I mean, the last tooth I had pulled was this one, but it wasn't done in my town because no one in my town, in my area, had time to do it. So I had to actually go east to the town of Pillager and go to the dentist there. Got my tooth pulled. It cracked the night before, so. I'm just looking at this tire, this bicycle tire, and I need to put it on my bike one of these days. I've been too busy. Things are starting to pile up, and that's why I've got the title of this live stream called Getting Things Done, because I got things I've got to get done before my surgery. After my surgery, I'm going to be laid up for a while. Hey, Ski Man. How you doing today? You feeling pretty good, or? Oh, you're watching me on your TV. I tried that once on that TV. Tried watching YouTube on that. I don't know. That screen is so big that it tried to fill in the screen and it didn't look too good. So YouTube on that cheap, well, not cheap TV, it cost me what, six. I can't remember what that cost me. Yeah, feeling about the same. Yeah, the way I'm feeling varies from day to day. It's my hernia is still there. I can feel it. It's not really bothering me yet, but what was bothering me the other day was my doggone back. Okay. So, Patch Tuesday today. There's the security update or security patch. Is that I think what they're doing? So, I don't get my updates probably till Saturday. I let other people be the guinea pigs of the updates, and security patches and whatever. And if I don't hear anything bad by right, well, Brightech, I don't know, he had a video the other day that a certain update was causing him the black screen of death. And I don't know, it seems like he's always got something bad to say about Windows 11. He's not a big fan of it. Now he's blaming. Well, this is something Carriol says. They're blaming the company for the product when actually it was something they did that is making it do that. So I don't know if he had changed anything on his computer or something. I don't know what his configurations are, but he's saying that was just, it went god awfully wrong. So this is I'll have to look up that video and I'll put it in the post for you guys to watch. But you know, Brightech had problems with one of the updates. I don't know. I'm taking all my updates, so I must have the update he's talking about because I keep checking for updates. Even though technically you're not supposed to. I mean, you can if you want, but for the really critical, the critical ones, exploits, those I will get because you don't want to not be patched when exploits are out running in the wild. You will not have a good day if one of those catches up to you and decides to turn your lovely life into a nightmare. And I've had to go over to people's, not people's places, but their office. No, that's not good to hear. Your back is acting up. I need a new phone. This thing is just a pile of poo. Well, it's over 4 years old. It really needs to be replaced. I just don't want to spend the $300 when this used to cost me $99 plus the screen protector, which was another, I don't know how much, but it was a $200 phone back then. Probably gone up $100 some, so I'll pay probably $300 plus the screen protector, which is another $80, $90 plus sales tax. So it'll be around a $300 phone by the time I get done. You know, with me, I go out and buy the cheapest phone. Like, what's the cheapest phone you got? It's like, well, don't you want one of these nice phones here? Like, no, those are $600-$700 phones. I don't want them. I want your $90. What was the price for it to come up to $100? $90 some phone, or maybe it was close to $100. I don't know. I just know getting a new phone is going to be expensive. Hey, Martin Hong. Yeah, I've been going through a rash of health issues. I got the hernia. I've got my back. Now I got high blood pressure. Cholesterol, that's all kind of screwed up, so they got me on medications on that, which my mom isn't allowing me to go on blood pressure medications because she says, you're on enough medication, you need to just bring that down yourself, don't let medication do it. Yeah, that would be nice, but if they do suggest meds, I will take them, but she doesn't want me to. Yeah, the high cholesterol. Since I haven't had any Mountain Dew since the second, and I tell you what, I could just fall asleep. I'm just tired. I have no ambition to do anything. But my mom can tell when I buy a Mountain Dew in our building because she'll see it come up on the thing in my bank accounts. She gets notifications. what all she's doing is she's spying on me. But she gets notifications when I take money or I spend money out of my accounts, and then she'll call me and said, why'd you just spend $52? Because I needed this, and then she'll try to talk me out of it. Said, you need to return that. You don't need something like that. I can't. This is something I need. Well, it's $55. I said, yeah, it was $55 because I need it. She does not like me spending money. She just barks at me all the time. Stop spending the money. You can't live life and not spend money. That doesn't work in my book. And she says she does it every day. She doesn't spend money every day. So, well, that's how you do things, but I can't do that. She said you could, you just don't want to. Well, kind of. But yeah, I don't know. Trying to keep this hernia surgery off my mind because they wanted me to do one of those, I don't know what it's called. Health directive. So that if I die, they'll know what to do with me if I want to be brought back to life or whatever it is, and who's going to take care of things if I do die, who's going to be the one in charge. And unfortunately, I can't think of anyone else to do that besides my mom. And she says, well, if you do that, I'm just going to go through a serious life change. She said she's going to change things in my life so that she can keep track of it better. So she basically admitted she's spying on me. She goes through my charts and my clinics, the one in Minneapolis and the one here in my town. She got a proxy for it. She begged and begged and begged and begged and begged and begged the clinic because she just has to know. She just got to know. So they set up a proxy for her so she can be on the same account and read what the doctor's notes are and kind of read what I said. She's suspecting some of my comments without her reading it haven't been so nice at the doctor's on my chart, so she got a proxy set up so that now she can check what my comments are. And then, I don't know. But yeah, I've got the blood pressure. I think I've got under control, so we can mark that off the list as taken care of. Next thing is just this hernia, and then after that, I got to get down to the Twin Cities, Maple Grove, and get this injection in my back, which my doctor called me. He called me, and he's a nice enough doctor that he takes time out of his day to call a few of his patients. I'm one of them, and he's down in Maple Grove, and that's almost a 3-hour drive. 2.5-hour drive, maybe. I don't know. It's sometime between here and it's far enough that my mom. It's far enough that my mom doesn't want to drive up to Brainerd, back to Sauk Rapids, then go down to the cities the next day, and then from the cities all the way back up to where I live. And she says, "No, you're spending the night when we get back home. You're spending the night. I'm not gonna drive all the way back up there, and then drive. That's too much driving for an almost 83-year-old woman." I said, yeah, I know another 84, 85 people that are 83, 84, and 85. They drive 200 miles a day or a couple of times a week. And she says, well, that's them. I won't do that. She gets to keep me in her house for 2 days. Well, 1.5. Because the day before we go to the clinic, she picks me up here around 2:30, 3 o'clock. Then we get down to her place around 4 or something. So it's almost a full day. So it's almost 2 full days that I spend down there. Oh yeah, my Dr. Jewison, he will call me. Like I said, he does take time out of his day to call his patient. He sets about an hour or so, or hour and a half. Well, he called me when he got the chance. I think he was in between patients, and he probably told him he just got to hang on for a minute. I got to make a phone call to Rick, and I'll get back to you in 5 minutes. And our phone call was that, about 5 minutes. He asked how I was feeling, and I told him about my hospital visit because of my back. And he said the reason that's happening is we're going too long between visits, between injections. I should have had one a long time ago, and I didn't, and that was this winter. My mom just didn't want to drive on the ice and snowy roads. She's 82, almost 83. She just said, I'm not going to do it. If the roads aren't in drivable condition, they can be damp, but they can't be icy or snowy. She said she'll just reschedule my appointment, and that wind. She hates wind, especially in the wintertime. When the winds around here get up to 30, 40 miles per hour, and she's trying to drive on a snowy, icy road, not gonna happen. She won't do it. She say, nope, I'm staying home. Gonna reschedule your appointment. So I told her all you gotta do is just get me down to St. Cloud, then have someone else take me from St. Cloud down to my appointment and back. She doesn't she doesn't know who else would do that. And she doesn't want anybody else to do that because there's a possibility of being stranded that the person comes back to St. Cloud without me. So I'll be down in Maple Grove, which is a suburb of Minneapolis. Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. If any of you don't know where, hey Jeff, some of you don't know where that's at, just look it up on the map, the Minnesota map. You'll see this big, huge blob kind of down in southwestern Minnesota. And it's just a big, huge, big ball of Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I mean, it's massive. It's like, I can't remember how many people live in that area, but there's a lot of people. And my mom's always tried to get me to move down to Minneapolis, and I keep telling her the town I'm in now is getting too big. And that's a little over 8,000. I'm starting to become a little uncomfortable with it. I've been wanting to move up north for the last couple of years, to a town that's less than 1,000. And she keeps telling me no. Then that'd be further for her to drive to come visit me. And she said if anything, you're going to move down to St. Cloud where you're closer to me. And I said, oh, the hell if I am. No, that won't work. So I'll stay here. Maybe not here in my apartment building, but I don't know. I'd still like to move somewhere, but I don't know. At my age, I really don't want to. What, 57? Really not looking forward to moving. Oh, so do I. I take Sebastian for cholesterol. It's funny, that's the same med that I'm on, Martin. Sebastian for cholesterol. Yeah. That must be the main med they give out for cholesterol because I hear a lot of people are on Sebastian. However you say that name. Sebastian or whatever. It must be the number one med that they give people for high cholesterol. And they really don't want to be put on a blood pressure med. I take a handful of meds in the morning and a handful and a half of meds at night. My mom would really like that cut down to a few pills at night, maybe like 5 or 6 in the morning, but that's it. I'm like at 8 pills in the morning and 11. I'd have to count 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8. That's about 8 pills, so it's about the same. But yeah, that's just to keep everything in check. I quit taking my Bacilloside. My ulcerative colitis goes out of control. I stopped taking the Sebastian. Maybe a trigger. If I stop taking the Sebastian, my blood pressure goes up, and not blood pressure, my cholesterol. Yeah, so I'm hoping when we go see my doctor, I would imagine that'd be after we get back from the doctor in the cities. I'll have to see my doctor here in she'll take another blood pressure test, and she'll look at my mom. She said, well, he's going on meds. This is a little higher than I'm comfortable with. And the only way to bring that down to keep it low is to put me on medication. Which my mom immediately is gonna flip out. It's like, oh no, don't put him on meds. Don't. And she'll say it's gonna be a low enough med that it's not gonna bother me. Like 5 milligrams or something, just to kind of help it come down a little bit. Because this morning, people are noisy out there. This morning I was 120/83. My mom still panicked and she said, oh no, that's way too high. And it has to be 120/, I think she said 30. And it has to stay there. Which everybody else I've talked to said that's impossible. It varies during the day. My mom's wanting me to keep it 120/30 as close as possible. At least I got it down to 130. No, it was 120/80 still. She says it could come down a little bit. She said that it could, it might, it will. She said if it doesn't, then I'll talk to your doctor again. I'll put another note in my chart that she'd like it to be 120/30 or whatever it is. And everybody's telling me that's not possible, but I can't talk my mom out of it. She told me today it will stay at 120/30. You have no choice. All right, talk to my doctor about it. See what she says. Bet you'll get an argument out of it. Because it can't stay that way. It has to vary during the day. It goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. It's just the way of life. It depends on what you eat. Like I said, I stopped drinking the Mountain Dew. Unfortunately, my mom didn't give me a choice about that one. She was giving me my ultimatums that if I didn't do that, well, for one thing, I wouldn't be living here. I'd be living down in St. Cloud, closer to her, and she'd make sure there's no pop machine around. And that's the problem, is there's 2 pop machines down the second floor. Get a 20-ounce Mountain Dew, or I can get a Kingdom. She said that's part of the problem, is you're drinking Mountain Dew all day because it's easy access. Yeah, I don't have to go anywhere to get it, so... But she put the kibosh to that. She said no more Mountain Dew, no more pop or soda, however you guys say it. She said that just won't. She needs the blood pressure to be, like I said, 120/30. That's not possible. And I've been trying to tell her that for the last 3 or 4 days. It never will be at 120/30. I don't know why she's so hard convinced that it will be and then it has to stay there. But I try not to argue with her because she really gets nasty with me. Then she'll give me my ultimatums and I just say, okay, well, whatever. Have it your way, as always. It's got to be your way. Which I know she's just being a concerned parent, but good God. I think she's overdoing it. When I tell my doctor about it, she's going to tell my mom she's overdoing it. It doesn't have to stay at that point. It will come up a little bit and it will go down. It's the way life is. Things don't stay the same. Things change. My mom, she's convinced it will stay at 120/30. That's not possible. That's not possible. And she has really cut down my eating because she knows all the food that I eat is all processed food, and that's going to kill me in the long run. And it's full of salt. Whatever. So it's full of salt. At least it tastes good. She says, yeah, but look what it's doing to your blood pressure. And I asked her, I said, why are you so doggone concerned about my blood pressure? Because you could have a stroke, and she went off on me, and I was like, Mom, okay, shush. Sorry I asked. She got diarrhea of the mouth is what could happen if you get your blood pressure stays too high for too long. You could have a serious stroke, you could do whatever. She said, if you don't want those bad things to happen, I'd cut off the Mountain Dew. Because it will eventually kill you. Like, no, it won't. I wasn't drinking that much of it. I mean, I was having 20 ounces a day. Because I'd get one in the morning when I'd wake up, get my morning stuff done, doing whatever. Go down a second, grab a 20 ounce. Come back up here, drink it. at around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, what I usually do, in fact, because our machines cause us problems, it doesn't always work. Then I go down the night before to Holiday where I got 3 for $5. That's, but I haven't done that since the 2nd of July. And I don't think, in fact, Janelle at Holiday asked me, she says, not buying Mountain Dew anymore? It's like, oh yeah, about the Mountain Dew. Yeah, you won't be seeing me buying that anymore. She tilted her head and said, why? My blood pressure went through the roof. Ah, good reason not to. So she checked me out, said have a good day. I said, yeah, see you later. But I think Janelle even was smart enough to realize that, yeah, 3 20 ounces a day is. I know people that have a lot more than that than I do. I know quite a few, they'll have their 3 done in the morning, and in the afternoon they'll have another 3. I'd hate to see what their blood pressure is like. So. Yeah, I know I'm not. I know I'm not a spring chicken. But yeah, I need to cut the salt out of my life, which is not totally possible, but I can cut down a lot of it. One of them is just drinking the soda, the Mountain Dew. If I stop doing that, I think I'll live a couple years longer, but I don't know. For me, making change is hard. I don't like making changes to my health. I was happy the way it is until they took my blood pressure when my mom was with me when we were at the clinic for um, my pre-op for my hernia surgery. The nurse told me, she said, yeah, if you're having that much, she said, she told my mom, and my mom totally didn't agree with that because the nurse turned to her and said he could have one a day, but he has to drink almost 2 times as much water as that 20 ounce. So I gotta drink 2 times more water than that 20 ounce of Mountain Dew. I said, what's the sense in doing that? Then you don't have the enjoyment of the Mountain Dew. And my mom kind of said, well, if you don't want to die and have a stroke and whatever, have bad things, don't change. But yeah, I guess. I can. Yeah. Yeah. It's all I know how to eat because I'm no cook. I don't know. Well, I guess I can do some things, but not a lot. And the other thing my mom wants me to do is go from white bread to wheat bread. I said that'll be a cold day of hell when that happens. She damn near slapped me for saying that. She came that close to just wanting to. But she didn't. She just rolled her eyes at me in that one way that, yeah, okay, I shouldn't have said that, but whatever. It's just how I am. Oh. Juice choices are cranberry or mango. Neither one of them sound good. There's that one orange drink that we used to have when I was like 8 or 9 years old. Tang, I think it's what it's called. I liked having Tang. That was alright. But my teeth will do better also without all that Mountain Dew sitting on my teeth all day, decaying my gums and eating at my teeth. That carbonation. Because the dentist said it's the carbonation that kills your gums and your teeth. I mean, obviously, I lost one tooth already. I'm not gonna lose another one, so maybe I do need to change things a little bit. Mango. Mango passion is a fruit. Ski man, you having a hard time typing? A little tiny little keyboard. I don't like those either. You're trying to type on a remote. I can never get the hang of it. Some other people just click through those letters and they have a full paragraph written when I'm still trying to figure out how to get to the next letter. I can't do the remote right. I can't do it. I have tried many of times and it does not work. Speaking of remotes, where is my remote to that TV? I just realized I have not seen that for quite a while. Oh, I know where it's at. It's not in here. I know where it is. Dang it. It's in that box in the bedroom. I got 3 boxes of junk in my bedroom. Oh. So, another kind of tech news that I've got that trailer for my bike. 2 trailers, and I just put them, bolted them together. It's 2 Vivo trailers. Um, Vevor. It's right here. There's the model number if you want to look it up. Oh, I can't do this. Right there. That's the model number. I don't know. They're nice. They're nice trailers. Oh, yeah. Here's what one of them looks like, and I've got 2 of them butted up against each other. So it's kind of a long trailer I've got, but it goes around corners nicely. Just have to make my corners a little wider because I'm so long. But I need to get lights on that thing, and I need Oh, is William here? Oh, William's office. Yes, you are here. Yeah, I got it. If you haven't seen my video yet, have you? Because I mentioned you. I mentioned you, William. You didn't watch my video. But yes, I got it. And where's it? Oh, and I also got this. So yes, I got everything you sent me. Thank you. No, I just got to get that other plug out of there somehow because it's broke. And the other reason it's working is because I plugged it in and then I heard the rest of it break. So I'm gonna only pull out maybe that much of it out of the whatchamacallit, headphone speaker jack, whatever. Um, so then I need to figure out how do I get the rest of it out. It might be a little tricky. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know because I gotta get the other half of it out. There's only a little bit of it. I had a thread hanging onto it now, and I know if I go and I twist to try to pull it out, as I'm twisting, it's just gonna snap, and then I'm kind of foobarred. Won't be able to use it then. Then I'll have to go get a sound card. Still wire this up to the other. this kind of looks like a speaker wire, but it's got the red, white, and blue. Maybe it isn't. I gotta get this wired up. First, I gotta get that plug out of my jack. And I'm no genius about doing that, so if you guys have any suggestions how to get the rest of that out. Getting a sound card means I'd have to get permission from my mother to spend anything on Amazon, and for the last, I don't know, 8 or 9 months she's been saying no. Well, you just don't need that. I don't have something like... See, the problem with her is she's comparing everything in her life to me. Just because she doesn't have it, she thinks that I don't need it. Just because she doesn't have company in her house means I shouldn't have company over in my apartment. She says, I don't have people coming over every day. It's like, that's because you're a homebody. You're just like being alone. Yeah, that's one thing the St. Cloud Hospital said many years ago. I think back in '91 or whenever, is that I have uh, abnormal stomach acids. I don't know if that's the case today. I don't know, but that's what they said, and they never did explain to me what that was. But they said you just have abnormal stomach acids, which is why I used to have problems with acid reflux, and I really haven't had a problem with that for... I can't remember the last time that happened. But yeah, oh, you have overproduction of stomach acids. I've got abnormal, or at least I did back then. I haven't had them tested since then because I got to go all the way in and down my throat, all the way down to my tummy, and move things around in there, and then just... yeah, I don't want that done. Just like I'll never have a spinal tap done. I don't know if any of you guys have ever had a spinal tap. I recommend not having one because, oh my god, are they ungodly painful. They don't give you Novocaine for it. I mean, they're just constantly stabbing in you in the back, in the lower back, and no. Then they're taking fluoride. No, thank you. Because I asked my doctor about it. Do they do it any different than what St. Cloud does? And no Novocaine, and you've got 3 people on one arm, 3 people on the other arm, and 5 or 6 on their legs to keep you from moving. And then you stab you in the back, and they pull out that... They don't use any numbing stuff at all. Novocaine, they just don't do that up here. It says just hold your breath and just... oh my... oh. I have a friend here in the building that had that done, and he said, you don't want to go through that. And for a full-grown man, they said by the time they were done, he had tears in his eyes. That's how painful it was. But they kept telling him they can't give him Novocaine for that. So... oh, that's sad to hear, Ski Man. Mine do fairly well for me, which the doctor was surprised. But now I'm long overdue, so now we're gonna have to start that cycle all over again of trying to catch up to it. Which is why he wants to see me every 3 months, but my mom's giving me excuses. Well, we can't do 3 months. We can't even do 4. It'll have to be 5 months. He wants to see me in 3 months. Well, Rick, that's just not gonna happen. So I talked to her today, and she said, well, I don't know. Well, it's the driving for her. She just doesn't want to do the driving. Hey, Darren. Who else did I miss in here? Oh, Tony, you did show up, didn't you? Aren't you? Yep. Oh, just trying to catch up to people in chow. Any Mountain Dew thick motto? No, I'm not. I'm kind of having a kind of give up on that for a while. Um, was on. Hang on, I got the paper. This is gonna sound crazy to you guys, but it is the truth. It is the truth. On 6:30 of 25 at 10:16 a.m., my blood pressure while I was in the doctor's office was 162 over 98, and then they took it again, 176 over 106. My mom's pretty much jumping through the ceiling at this point. They waited another 10, 15 minutes. They took it again. It came down to 150 over 92. And the last one they took, it went up again to 154.93. Certified nurse taking my blood pressure readings. My mom didn't really believe. Okay, so why'd she make two of them? So yeah, that's why the tech news and tech stuff with me has kind of been put on hold because, and I will get back to it, but I gotta take care of my health first. I gotta get this hernia taken care of, and then after the hernia, so while I'm spending one night in the hospital, then my mom is gonna force me to stay in bed for at least 2 weeks. Don't do anything for 2 weeks, but just lay in bed and get this to heal the way it's supposed to. They think I waited. They didn't go long enough to take me off the work duty. I think that's why it came back the second time. And they said normally they don't come back, but yours did. Maybe we just didn't wait long enough the first time and before putting you back to work. And my mom kind of said, "Oh, he will this time." And I don't think the doctor liked what she said, because she's gonna keep me in bed for at least 10 days. He just rolled her eyes at her, like, really, 10 days? Although he was gonna recommend 2 weeks, so 14 days. But I think that's after he's not really in bed, but mostly in bed. So yeah, that's gonna be really boring for me. I'm not allowed. I won't be allowed to leave the apartment for like 10 days. Um, I'm just not gonna do anything for 10 days until this heals up the way it's supposed to. And once it does, I can go out and do whatever. But I gotta be careful about what I do from now on. Can't be picking things up that's more like over 10 pounds, which was my limit many in the mid 90s, so 1999 2000. My weight limit restriction was 20 pounds. I think this doctor is gonna knock it down to 10 pounds, which is gonna suck. And that'll be for the rest of my life. I'll never be able to pick up anything over 10 pounds. They don't want this hernia to come back again. But anyhow, yeah, that's pretty much all I know. That's kind of talking. I just got an email. BH Ringer Tang. Yeah, we used to have that when I was a kid. This dry powder you put into. I can't remember how it's made, but it wouldn't last a day between me and my sister. We like Tang. I don't know if that's the name of it. Maybe it isn't Tang. Just this orange drink that we used to get in a cylinder jar, usually plastic with a lid. Take 1/3 tablespoon and dump it into a glass. Put water in it. That's your Tang. I don't know. Maybe they might have changed the name of it. That's what it was when I was a kid. That's what, at least that's what I remember as it being. Maybe it wasn't. I'll have to ask my mom, but I think it was Tang. I think. Maybe it wasn't. I can't remember. Yeah, my ski man, my spinal, my injections work. Um, they actually last longer than they're supposed to with me. They're only supposed to last about 8 to 9 months. I went a full around the clock year, and now we're in July, so we're 1 year and 7 months, and last towards the end of last month things finally went screwy. So, and Jewison kind of pointed that out that we're waiting too long. Well, I'm not the one waiting. My mom is the one that's chickening out and wanting to drive down there because there's snow in the road and a lot of wind. And he understood it. I don't know why he understands it because I don't. He wants us down there in 3 months. And my mom today argued with me. He wants to see me 3 to 4 months. She said, "Oh, we just can't do that." Well, then I'll find somebody else to get me down there. She didn't like hearing that, so the third time she called me today, she said, "Yeah, I guess I'll have to get you down there somehow in the wintertime. If he wants you down there that often, then that's what we'll do." She just doesn't know how she's gonna do it yet. Summertime and the fall time, she's fine. But in the winter time, when it's below zero, windy, cold, and more than likely we'll have to wait until springtime. Because she just, unless she can find somebody else that's a lot braver than she is about driving on hazardous roads in the wintertime. She just told me she's just not going to do it. You're just going to have to wait till springtime when I can get you down there again. Yeah, and Jewison doesn't want to wait. Well, then we've got a problem. Yeah, we do. So I think my mom's just going to make arrangements when it starts getting colder, the snow starts falling. She'll find somebody to take me from St. Cloud to Minneapolis, Maple Grove, and then pick me up again and bring me back to St. Cloud. Um, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to try that. I don't know. I don't know if that has a hole that I can stick in there or not. I'll have to look at it again. But surprisingly, it works. I mean, I did plug it in and I heard it break. But I just kind of twisted it a little bit and all of a sudden the sound came back on. It's like, good, I'm going to leave it. Leave it alone. So it is working now. I can't go up to the plug and just lightly tap on it because even if I lightly tap on it like that, the sound's gonna quit because that jack's gonna pull apart. I'll just take it, push it, and then I gotta turn it until it finds the right connection so the sound comes back on. So I don't know. I'll fiddle with that one of these days. I don't know if it'll be today, tomorrow, but it'll be one of the things I gotta get done because like my mom said, get everything you've got to get done because after the 17th to about the 10th of next month, you ain't doing anything. Oh, welcome to my hell. Laying in bed in the hospital overnight, then coming home and laying in bed for another 10 to 14 days. Except go to the bathroom, eat, and then go right back to bed. Which I won't do because if I can, I'll get on the Zoom homies meeting at night with Zoom, and I think I'll be okay as long as I'm not doing this or twisting or bending. As long as I just sit perfectly still, I think I'll be okay. But my mom wants me to take a break from Zoom for a couple of weeks and let this heal. But I think I'm gonna have to have the doctor talk her down out of a few things because she's wanting me to stay in bed for another 2 weeks. Well, he might too. I don't know what he's gonna say, but um, I don't know. Over 2 weeks, I think is a little bit overkill. But that's what the doctor may recommend. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it yet. Um, he's probably gonna have me stay in bed for at least 8 days. I don't know about 14, but I know he will 8 to 10 days. And then just be very careful as to what I do after that. Don't move. Don't twist or bend or anything, and don't pick up anything over 5 pounds, 3 pounds preferably. Um, my mom is coming up tomorrow because we've got my healthcare directive. We've got to finish that. She wants to go through this whole book again, even though I read it from. I read it from the first page to the last page. I read it almost twice. Flack scale. The face, leg, activity, cry, constability. What the fuck? Okay, I don't know what the hell this is all about. But pain scale. See, my pain scale on my back's probably 6.5. Hernia. That is probably also a 6.5. Maybe more of a solid 7. So that's where I am at the pain level. Yeah, it does hurt, but as long as I'm not too careless or reckless for whatever I do, I'll do okay. I should do okay. I'm surprised with an incarcerated hernia, umbilical hernia, incarcerated. He wants to wait till the 17th. I was kind of surprised. He said, "Well, we can wait till the 17th." Like, really? You're gonna make me wait another? Oh my God! But he must not have thought it was that critical. Otherwise, he would have thrown me in surgery. So he said the 17th, you'll be fine. My mom questioned him about that 3 times because she did not like the idea that he was going to have us wait until the 17th. And he kind of looked at her and said, "Well, I'm kind of booked on surgeries until then. Rick is going to take the morning of the 17th. I've got 2 or 3 more to do after him." Oh, okay. So now she understands why it's the 17th. He does this all day long. There's thousands and thousands of people that need hernia surgery, and in my town, he's the one that does them. We actually talked to the surgeon that's going to do my surgery, and he's going to put a mesh in there. Maybe that's probably what he didn't do the first time, or what this. I don't know if this is the same surgeon I had for the first time, but they didn't do the mesh the first time. He said this time he's going to do the mesh, and then what is it? 6 or 7 days later, 8 days, I get the stitches taken out. Not exactly fun. At least for me, it isn't. Because when those stitches get in there, my skin tightens and it wraps itself around the thread. So he has to just cut it and just kind of, ouch! He said, "Sorry, these are." He said the ones in here in the front didn't come out too easily, so I damn near kicked him by the time he was finished. I said, "Are you done?" So I got 2 more. Like, he cut this stuff. Second to the last one, and just kind of just 1, 2. Ow! The last one I kind of felt, but it wasn't as bad as the other ones. Oh, I've got that to look forward to. So there is questionable reasons as to why my blood pressure is kind of elevated because of what's going through my head. And having to do a healthcare directive before surgery, what does he do? Plan on killing me? He normally doesn't ask for those to be completed before he does surgery. So I'm wondering what changed with the first time, because they didn't the first time. This time they are. Because he's looking at me and saying, why do I have to do a healthcare directive? I didn't. He said, well, you never know. Yeah, this is a simple 1, 2, 3 hernia surgery. Why would I die from that? Well, you can bleed out. Your heart can suddenly stop. There's a lot of variables in there that could happen. So do your healthcare directive and then we'll do your surgery. Fine. Fine. Have it your way. So my mom's coming up tomorrow to do the healthcare directive for me, with me, as to what are my wishes if I don't pull out of surgery. What do they want done with me? I don't know, and that's why I've got to figure that out. Figure out what are my wishes after I die? Do I want to get resuscitated or do I not want to? Or it's really getting cloudy out there. But it's almost 2 o'clock here, guys. I know I talk about disgusting, gross stuff that most people don't want to talk about, but I had 80 ouch! H. Ringer, you had 80 staples. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I'd imagine those hurt like a son of a bee with getting those taken out. And my stitches were bad enough. I can't imagine getting the staples ripped back out of you. Ow. Damn. Let me read that again. You had 90 staples in your leg. Oh my god. That's yeah, you don't need to go any further on that story, BH. I've got the point. There are worse things that could happen. You could have 90 staples like he did. No, thank you. Oh my god. Ugh. 90 staples. What the hell did you do to deserve that? You think you had some kind of accident or something? That sounds excruciatingly painful. Getting those taken out. I'd ask him for the frying pan. Just have a nurse come up and just bang, knock you the F out and then take the staples out. Ouch, 90 staples. Yeah, well, anyway, you never know if my wife had a stone removed. Yeah, I just, it's just the way, Jeff, it's just the way the surgeon worded it. And I was going to ask him, well, have you lost other people during this simple little surgery? He's like, yeah, I have. Okay, maybe I should do that healthcare directive. If he's killing other people because of hernia surgery, I think he said there was complications with it and everything just went wrong all at once and they couldn't catch up to it and the guy flatlined. Maybe, yeah, I think I'll do that. My mom's sending me the short version. There's a short version where I just ask for what my wishes are if I die and what I want to have happen to me. Or, I don't know. You guys know how it works, but she wants that done tomorrow. No, thank you. You fell and broke your hip socket? Jesus Christ. You fell. You must have landed on your hip, though. On your hip, or did you land in your right or left leg and pull the thing out of the socket? Because I know a guy that did that. He fell off the roof. And he came down and he fell straight, but he landed on his left leg. Shattered his thigh bone into 3 or 4 pieces. And then fragmented it. I can imagine how many screws are in his leg. Then he had his hip completely shattered because that sudden impact from coming from up the top of the roof and just boom, landing on his left leg with all that crunching weight. You know, he's a 220-pound guy. And he just slipped off the roof, landed on his feet, but yeah, shattered his thigh bone into billions of pieces. Broke his hip completely off, or the socket or whatever. I don't know what he did, but oh, long dog's hair. Yeah. Who's going to get all your computer equipment? Yeah, I'm not gonna go away that soon. I survived the first surgery. I'll survive this one. The surgeon said it's nothing really. Although he said he's gonna change his procedure, being that he already went in here, he's gonna come in through my right side waist area and then go all over to where the hernia is. And I don't know. I think then he changed his mind and said, well, maybe instead of the waist area, I'll come up and just go right where they went through before. He said, then be right where the hernia is. Just peels me open, takes the hernia out, stitches me back up, puts me in recovery overnight until overnight. Um, he was starting to think that coming in through my side here is going to be a little bit more involved. And I said, yeah, exactly how am I going to feel after all that? Yeah, good point. So, yeah, he'll make up his mind on the day of the surgery, on the 17th. Just as I'm starting to get knocked out slowly. You know, they slowly knock me out. I'm just not out all of a sudden. It just kind of. And it feels like 2 seconds and I'm in a recovery room, which actually was more like a half hour. And coming off that anesthesia this last time, when I had my colonoscopy done, boy, that stuff had a grip on me. I could not wake up. Like I said in one of my other videos, after my colonoscopy and after the anesthesia wore off and I woke up, I don't remember leaving the hospital. Well, actually, no, I don't remember walking out of there. Don't remember the car ride home because a nurse or somebody from the hospital brought me home. I don't remember the car ride. I don't remember being in the elevator coming up to my floor, and I don't remember coming to my apartment. It's like I blacked out. I think that's why maybe this time they're going to keep me in the hospital, just in case. I think that may have been in my notes that I had a hard time coming out of the anesthesia. Because that's what the nurse said. They had a hard time getting me to wake up. It's not that I was dying, but they tried to wake me up several times and I wouldn't wake up. Usually they go up to somebody and they just tap them on the arm and their eyes open. Me, they were shaking me, trying to get me to wake up. And I finally did wake up with 2 doctors and 3 nurses standing around me. I opened one eye and I looked at them and I said, is there a problem? I'm tired. Can I go? They wouldn't let me go back to sleep. And they said, no, there's no problem. We just couldn't wake you up, and that's why we're trying to keep you awake. I think I was fine for the rest of the day after I got home. I think I slept for the rest of the day. I think that's what I did. I came home and went to bed. Oh, God, I would not like that. No, 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 no. You gotta knock me the F out on a colonoscopy. You don't do that, and it ain't happening. And that's what I told the doctors here in Brainerd. They do local anesthetic. Said, no, knock me the F out completely. Okay, if that's what you want. Full anesthesia. Okay, that's what you're getting. So, yeah, they knocked me out because I don't want to hear anything, feel anything. So, yeah, they knocked me out. Yeah. Well, guys, if you don't have any more questions or anything else to say, kind of like to get out and get a bike ride in before it rains, because we are supposed to get rain sometime today. As they said, rain in spots. So it may rain here, although it's starting to look like it's maybe a half hour away from raining. So, yeah, we haven't had desert-like conditions here this summer, or actually since spring. We've been constantly getting rain about every 2 to 3 days, and it doesn't just rain for like 5 minutes and then stop. This is a good 45 minutes of rain. Sometimes hard rain, or just sometimes just light rain for 6, 7 hours. The light rain, the light trickle of rain, I like that a lot better. Gives it a lot more chance for the rain to soak into the ground. Because a hard flash flood rain, all that's going to do is just hit the ground, run off, and doesn't get the chance to soak in. And if it slowly rains overnight, that's why our grass in the backyard is so green this year. It has been raining a lot. And it's better than other summers. We've had summers here where, 9455001. Good luck, Rick. Yeah, thank you. So, the last thing before I let you guys go. And this is the reason why I backed everything up with my mom, because I'm going to have her here at 9 o'clock. Then we're going to go to the library. They've got a room that we can be in for a half hour, so he's going to help me fill out that healthcare directive crap. But I don't know. I'll get it done, and then hopefully I pull through surgery fine. He doesn't predict to see any problems. He hasn't had any problems with anybody else. Like yesterday, he did 3. He said the day before when I was there. I forget what day I was there again. The 30th? Yeah, the 30th. He did 1 already that day before I saw him. And I said, that guy's up in recovery. He's doing just fine. He doesn't predict mine to be any different than all the rest of the other surgeries he's doing. And he said it's pretty simple. Just drill a hole, get a hold of the hernia, cut it. And I said, yeah, take the roots to it this time. He said, yeah, that's the other thing. I may not have gotten it all the last time. He may have left a little bit of a root of the hernia there, and he said that's what it grew off of. He said it shouldn't have come back at all, but it's... He said that sometimes they do. But he's going to do the mesh this time, so that there's less possibility of it coming back, hopefully. Oh, Williams office 2095. Whoa. Small circuit board with the short pieces of wire. Yeah, I don't think I'll have to do that, William. I think I can just replace the jack. The rest of it's fine. Guy's talking on the phone. Can he talk any louder? Goodness. So, yeah, that's my story, guys. I will have a live stream tomorrow, believe it or not, but that depends. I'm gonna say it's gonna be at 2 o'clock, but it could be 3 o'clock, and if it's 3 o'clock, it's only gonna be a half hour. If I get back in time and get it at 2 o'clock, we'll go the normal hour. And we'll go from there. I gotta do grocery shopping. Get all that lovely paperwork done then go grocery shopping, and I'm going to make that really quick. Get in and out of there so I can get back here by 1 o'clock, 1:15. Maybe one. I don't think it'll even be that late because, hell, I'll be hopefully shopping by 10:30. So it won't take me but an hour or two. No, not an hour. It'll take me about an hour, hour and a half, maybe. Like I did last time, because I just go up and down the aisles constantly, just to kind of kill time. Because my mom says, "Oh, don't be in a hurry, Pi. Take your time." It's like, yeah, Mom, I gotta be home at 2 o'clock. So I go to that store, and I only go to that store because I know where everything's at. If I were to go like Cub over in Northeast, I'd have to start all over because I don't know where anything in Cub Foods is. But the Super One, I know where everything's at, and it just bing, bing, boom. I can get it done and get a cart full in about an hour. So, no, Ken Stout Live. Yes, Ken Stout Live. Hello, Ken. Good to see you. Happy to see you. After your little message you gave last night, I was a little bit worried. I thought you were going to jump off YouTube completely and you weren't going to talk to anybody. So, hello. I'm glad to see you. Been chit-chatting here with the guys about what's going to happen on the 17th and if I do or do not come back, which I'm pretty sure I will. It just had me a little worried that my mom got a call the other day from the hospital, and they said they want that healthcare directive done before my surgery. It made me wonder. It's like, what does he plan on doing with me? Why do I have to have the healthcare directive done before a surgery? And like that snarky surgeon said, well, you never know. Well, this is easy as 1, 2, 3. Why would there be any complications? Have you had complications? See, not usually. So I don't know why they called my mom a couple days later and said that they like the healthcare directive done before I have the surgery. So if I don't get that healthcare directive, there ain't gonna be no surgery. Son of a bitch. Okay, I'll have it done. But they've been bugging me to do that for the last 2 or 3 years, and my mom finally said maybe we should get that done. Just in case. Yeah, just in case. So, I don't predict any problems. The surgeon doesn't predict any problems, and we'll have everything done and over and in order so that, so that we don't have to cancel the surgery because he said I really can't wait any more than the 17th. It's an incarcerated hernia, so he said it's kind of starting to pinch things off. So get you in the 17th, get you in and out, and send you home the next day. He said I think you'll do fine. I hope so. It just scares me that you want me that healthcare directive done before the surgery. And like he said, well, that's because you just never know. You never know. He could do everything right, and my body might just say, you know what, it's time to go and goodbye. Like, he doesn't predict that to happen, but just in case. Well, the just in case is what scares me. But like I said, guys, wow, it is really cloudy now. Yeah, I gotta get going. I want to thank everybody for being here today. It was a fun hour and 15 minutes. I kind of had fun today. Didn't do too much tech stuff. I don't know. I don't know if a lot of you wanted to hear about it. So some people. Well, I get messages on my phone because there's people locally, and some other people in other states that I do know, and um, their complaint is all I do is tech stuff. Don't you do any regular life stuff? Well, I do, and I guess this is one of them. My regular life behind the scenes of my computer tech stuff that I do. I also do working on bikes, which I gotta get the trailer hooked up and get over to somewhere, pick something up, and then yeah, I'll have to get the tonneau cover for that because I'll have to cover it up because I think it's gonna rain and I'm gonna get to Baxter. I'm gonna get to Northeast first. Go get all that stuff, about 90 some pounds, 80 some pounds, he said. And then go all the way and take that into Baxter, which will be a fun of joy doing that. I don't like navigating Baxter streets. One of them is 371. Me trying to get across 371 and a bike alone is hard enough. I'm gonna have a bike and a trailer. It's like 60 some inches long. So take the length of the bike, then take the trailer. Get the trailer all hooked up together. I'm quite long. And trying to get that through. I hope I hope I can hit the green light and just keep going. Because I don't want to be stuck in traffic with the car in front of me and hope the guy behind me stops. So that's what I gotta do either today or tomorrow. I'll go pick it up today, but I don't think I'll be delivering it. I don't think I'll deliver it today. So that's what I'm gonna go out and do. I hope the rest of you have a great afternoon. Like I said, I do plan on doing a live stream tomorrow. If things go right. If we get that paperwork with my mom done in a short period of time. And then I gotta go grocery shopping. And I gotta buy a lot of stuff, because if I'm stuck in bed for 2 weeks, yeah, I'm gonna want to have plenty of snack food around, because they're not gonna let me do much walking after surgery. Even though walking is good, walking is moving that whole hernia area, and they don't want that moving around, so he wants me to come home, stay in bed for at least the first 4 days. And then he says, we'll see how you do after that, and maybe go walk the hall maybe once or twice a day, but kind of take it easy for 2 weeks, and that's the plan. But I don't know what your plans are, but my plans are getting off of here and heading outside, because those clouds are starting to get awfully thick, awfully quick, and there's really no blue sky left. There was at the beginning of this live stream. There's a very small amount of it left, so I'm gonna get out of here and get things done. Like I said, the title of my show, Getting Things Done. I gotta get things done before the 17th. There's a couple projects I got coming up I gotta get done. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a great day. I do plan on having a live stream tomorrow at 2, so I'll see you guys then. Bye for now, guys. Okay, now shutting this all off. Oh, long dog, I just had to catch your message. Get some oatmeal and some cereal and milk. I can't have milk. I'm lactose intolerant. So the oatmeal sounds good. Yes, I know. It's a little green button on the what? Wait a minute. On OBS? There is no green button. Yeah, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Alright, guys. If that's going to be it, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.